very good tool for somebody to get understand only one thing is how much money should I be, I mean, fundamentally, this will only tell you one thing is how much money should I be putting at the start of the business, okay, which you want to call it that startup cost or capital cost, or I use a term called a sunk cost, because there is very little chance that it will come back. And if I'm ever to going to make some money out of this, reasonably, what is the period I should look at covering my startup cost? Beyond this, the calculations don't matter at all. Okay, so we start with the startup cost, which you see here. Some magically is this is a smoothie. So probably this is something that I don't know the vehicle they have bought it or whatever, but somehow the startup looks at in having an investment of about 300,000 to start off with. Okay, that includes tour signatures, license, blender, blah blah blah. Okay, then they have done a simple calculation. They said ki how many customers do we think we will get. So looking at a crystal ball or something like that, they said can we can possibly get about 200 customers a day, and number of days they plan to work all the 30 days of the month. So they say okay, 30 days 200 customers is about 6,000 customers we will get in a month. Now rest of the calculation, whereas the capital cost is a one time cost, rest of the calculations are either per month basis or per unit basis, and we will see how it affects the thing. So they look at a crystal ball and do some rough calculation. They say we should at least get 200 customers 30 days, so 6,000 customers. How many times they would probably buy a smoothie? Maybe once a month. Okay, so now this is again a assumption that they have made that 6,000 unique customers that I will get is everyone will come. There'll be about 6,000. Maybe it's the same 200 people who come 30 times in the month and they buy a smoothie every day because it's like a college or it. But any case, as far as I am concerned, it is 6,000 customers who buy one smoothie. I plan to sell it for 30 whatever rupees or dollars or rupiah, whatever, 30 rupees, and they are obviously buying it only once a month. So total is 6,000 customers only. So now anything could have changed. The number of units, if they could have made, I think, two, this calculation should change. Yeah, so if it makes two, that people are buying, at least not one but two, then it becomes 12,000 units. And if they are buying it, say, about three times a month, then this whole calculation. So these numbers are, so these fields are fairly okay. So this is what is being done as a calculation. Then the students or the startup figures out that okay, to do this, I am going to need at least two people that I need to pay. Maybe they are attendants or they are people who work in shifts at the smoothie cart, but I'm going to have two people. So these two people are going to be paid roughly about 7,000. So my salary cost is 14,000. Because I bought a vehicle, I need to transport it, blah blah blah. I need 5,000 bucks of fuel, electricity, which is needed because I'm going to be running a freezer, is about 5,000. I don't know what this rent is. This probably rent is, rent of an office or something like that. Then it is rent, and then I'm going to do some a bit of an advertising. So roughly I am going to be spending 37,000 bucks per month as a fixed cost. So even if there is no sale for me in any particular month, these are the costs that I am going to be incurring. So I have to make sure that I at least cover this 37,000 rupees that I'm going to be spending month on month, other than my startup cost, to keep this business on, which is a fair assumption because irrespective of whatever capital money you would have put, there will be bound to be a fixed cost that you will incur. Okay, so what does my smoothie cost me actually? Okay, because I'm planning to sell it for 30 bucks, this is fine, but how much does it really cost me to do that? So I have this ingredients that I have, I say that how do I unitize my thing? So I'm saying that one smoothie is going to cost a bit of yogurt, a bit of fruits, a bit of sugar, and definitely a cup and a napkin. So I'm going to be using, say, whatever yogurt costs about 100 rupees for uh, whenever I'm buying it. So I'm just using 10% of that. So the actual cost that goes towards one unit of smoothie is 10 bucks of yogurt, 5 rupees of fruit, 1 rupee 20 paisa, sugar, and of course 1 rupee goes towards cups and napkins. So my total cost of the single unit of smoothie that I'm selling is 17 rupees 20 paise, which is okay because 1720 it's like either I'm buying or either I'm manufacturing this and I'm selling it at 30. So I'm making a gross contribution of about 12.8 every time I sell a smoothie, which is fine. So now let me come and do a calculation. So the startup things, okay, this is all fine, this is all data that we have, but how is it really going to affect us in terms of profits, or in terms of when will we break even, or how much time will I take to repay back the capital? Maybe the capital is borrowed from someone and they need to tell them that look how much. So these are all a bunch of assumptions that they have made. And so here is obviously the sales figure, which is coming from C20. It comes from this figure over here. Then in the Excel sheet that you had sent, there was some 400 bucks. I don't know where it came from, so I just made it zero. Doesn't make any sense. Other revenue sources, maybe other revenue sources, I don't know, some advertising, something, where that money would come from. So the total revenue every month is very simple, is 1,80,000 bucks over here. So what is my profit? My profit is very simple. To sell, I'm getting as by way of inward revenue 1,80,000 bucks, but I'm also spending money, right? So what is the money that I'm spending? I'm spending money in two parts. I'm spending money as fixed cost, which is 37,000. Okay, and then I'm spending money that every time I make a smoothie, I'm spending 17 rupees 20 paisa. So 37,000 plus 17 rupees 20 paisa into, because I sold 6,000 of these units, and then I minus those figure from 1,80,000. So the calculation here is, you see this K11 into C19. K11 is 1720 into C19 is 6,000 bucks. So this multiplication figure gives me the variable cost. Okay,
For all the units. For all the
all
units
the
in the
units,
month.
yes,
Yeah,
for all the units.
sure.
Then F11 gives me the fixed cost. Okay,
Right.
37, and C20 is my revenues total.
Sure.
So revenues minus fixed cost minus variable cost is
Yeah.
simple, 39,800 as profit. Okay. Now what I'm doing is, every time I sell a smoothie, I make a net contribution, or what is called as marginal contribution, of 12.8, right?
Mm.
Because 30 minus 17.2 is 12.8. Every time I sell one smoothie, I will make 12 rupee 80 paisa. Now,
Mhm.
what is my fixed cost? 37,000. So what happens on day one of the month? The day of one of the month, usually my 37,000 is all blocked. That means I am now committed to pay 37,000 rupees in the month, irrespective of whether I sell one smoothie or 10 smoothie, 500. I plan to sell 6,000, but we don't know. Let's assume that is a Corona situation, suddenly lockdown. We don't know. So what happens on the first of a month? I'm committed to spend 37,000 bucks.
Mhm.
Now I need to figure out, simple is, how many smoothies should I minimally sell in this particular month? Okay, so that my fixed cost is covered. Okay, that is called as the break even point. A break even point is where you sell exactly those number of units that are not making you 1 rupee profit, but they are not even making you 1 rupee, incur a single rupee loss. So it is that golden sweet spot that every entrepreneur strives for. And why is break even point important? Because that sets your initial target for the month. You know, your mind is, everything is calibrated towards that particular number. Same thing happens with a street side vendor also. So instead of a smoothie, instead of saying that, 6,000 units in a month, a street side vendor probably does the same calculation for the day. Because you look at any street side vendor, he would have a very fixed cost that he will incur for that particular day. He knows exactly. So all our fish vendors, vegetable vendors, people who sell vada pav on the street, all have this, number somewhere ingrained in their mind, which tells them that aaj to itna karna hi karna hai, because it is like what I usually give students an example, like 45 marks when you are appearing for an exam, right? Because if you score 45, you're not going to fail, not that. So every student who enters an examination classroom looks at first, making sure that he knows answers to at least all those questions that will cumulatively give him 45 marks, because that for him is a break even for that paper. And of course, once he has done that, then he can look at scoring more marks or something. So they keep a target. Good students keep a target, saying that in the first 1 hour, let me clear 45 marks. Then I have 2 more hours to spend on getting more marks. Maybe then I can push it to 75 or 80 or something like that. Same thing is with startups. They keep a target and then they say, let us try and achieve this number as quickly as possible, so that we have the rest of the period available to us as to make money. So the simple formula for break even is fixed cost divided by the marginal contribution. Now fixed cost is 37 bucks, 37,000, and marginal contribution is 12 rupees 80 paise. So you do that calculation actually. I think, yeah, F11 is 37,000, and C17, that is C17 is price per unit minus K11, that is 17 point. So fixed cost divided by marginal contribution gives you break even unit. It basic. So though it appears in fraction, this should actually, if you can generally go and make this into a number, then a number with, let us say, zero fractions or whatever. uh, okay, so you be basically saying that about 2,891 smoothies, the moment I sell 2,000, I'm selling 6,000 in a month. So if I keep a count on, say, first of the month I sold 200, then the next of the month I sold two, so about 2,890. Let us just roughly take this as uh, you know roughly take this, I'd say round figure 3,000. The moment I sell 3,000 of those smoothies, I would achieve a break even for the month. Roughly, Sunita, I'm just saying 2,890, I'm just rounding it off to 3,000, because then it tells me that I will achieve the break even on the 15th day of the month. Okay, because 6,000 I'm selling in 30 days. I'm definitely selling 3,000 in the first 15 days. And maybe the 14th day, if you really want to be very, very specific, on the 14th day of the month, you achieve a break even of the figure. So that gives me another 16 days, because the moment I sell 2,892, smoothie, for the first time in the month, I start making a profit of 12 rupees 80 paisa. Okay, that is the beauty of a break even. That means for the first 14 days of the month, I have slogged, put in all my efforts, everything, just to get that nose above water kind of a situation. But I am happy that now I have 16 more days in which every time I sell a smoothie, I'm going to make 12 rupees 80 paisa. So no, now now my mind is more freer. I am, smiling a lot. I am now no longer tensed, because I have done my break even. I have crossed my 45 marks that I wanted to, make sure that I clear the exam. So this 2890 or 2891, 2891 smoothies went into covering that. And after that, every month I went. So what is the key learning for any startup is, if you are doing, and this is what a facilitator should talk about, is if you are doing a break even on the 14th day of a month, wouldn't it be great if you achieve that, say, on the 12th of the month or even the 10th day of the month? So for a startup, this becomes like a very starting point in where to fine tune their, efforts, and say that, look, last 3 months I'm reaching break even on the 14th day. What is it that I can do to, bring this number? Because if I achieve it on the 10th day, then I have straight 20 more days in which I can make profit. Okay. And that becomes, so can I, keep an event, or can I kind of, double my marketing efforts? Can I kind of, extend my time period in which I'm selling smoothie? Can I go to a better location, that will get me more customers at the start of the month? Okay. So these are all the things that run in a startup's mind, and they should look at this number in that perspective. It's not like that, okay, chalo break even ho gaya, to ho gaya, what can we do? The idea is figure it out. What is the last figure over here? 7.537 is very simple. This calculation assumes, okay, that there are, I mean, this number is going to remain constant. That means every month the 200 customers are going to come. I'm going to be working for 30 days. Everyone is going to have an ice cream once a month, and one ice cream only. So if this kind of flow continues, okay, then it will take me 7.5 months, because every month I'm making a profit of 39,800, right? So this payback period is K21. Okay, what is K21? K21 is profit. Okay, and C11 is my total capital that I have invested. So if I have 300,000 that I have borrowed from someone, and let us assume that I don't keep any money for myself, and every month I'm making 3,000, 39,800, then it is going to take me about 7.5 months to repay the money back. And that is what this payback period in months generally. Why is this figure needed? Okay, when you're making a pitch, or when you're going and asking money, maybe it is to your own father or anybody, you need to tell them, look, this is return on investment. I am going to break even in 7.5 months. So my business model is very solid. You're not taking a very longer exposure in terms of you know uh, longer exposure in terms of lending out money. One way to reduce this payback period is either two. There are only two ways in which this payback period can be reduced. One is increase the profits. That means instead of 200 customers, get 400 customers, 500 customers. Reduce the cost of the ice cream that you are selling. So instead of 17 rupees 20 paisa, try and make it 16 rupees. See if you can get fruits from a better vendor, or see if you can increase the price from 30 rupees to 32 rupees or 33 rupees. So increase the sales price, reduce the cost, increase the profits, reduce your fixed cost, maybe save on electricity, maybe do this. So you can do a lot of tweaking and turning around to make this profit figure higher. Okay. Or look at a reduced capital cost, and ask yourself this question: should I really be buying a vehicle of 234? Can I buy, instead of buying the freezer, can I buy it on rent? Or instead of buying this vehicle, can I kind of lease it? So all these costs which are capital cost will probably move to the fixed cost. Of course you will say that fixed cost will go up, and break in come down. But any case, your payback period is a function of, is a composite function. It's a function of your profitability as well as your capital investments that you do. So the idea is, how can you tweak? You have these two or three four levers that you have in your hand, so that it can help you reduce this 7.5 months to maybe 6 months or something like that. Break even period, like I said, instead of 2891, can you reduce the break even number by uh, doing a better sourcing of your raw materials, increasing the price of your product, increasing the number of customers that are walking in, reducing your fixed cost. So to a certain extent, this uh, back of the envelope calculation is a good, what I should say, at least for a very early stage startup who's still in that MVP mode. This gives them some anchor on what are the numbers that they should be shooting for.
Okay. Okay. Take it on.
Okay. So what is wrong here is your monthly variable cost is not 90, it is 90 into 100. Fixed cost is okay because you can see the fixed cost over here 13872, but monthly variable cost is unit, that is it
Correct.
costs about 90 and you have 100 units of whatever you are selling.
Right.
So this figure is wrong. So okay, so then your monthly operating expense is not 90 but 13872 plus 9000.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then your monthly revenue is right. Monthly revenue is basically revenue whatever.
Yeah, because it's been calculated for 30 days. So
Monthly revenue for 30 days is 1250
plus
but
10,000 plus 4,000.
no commission from one
Yeah,
one.
yeah. Three different ways in which they are generating revenue. Revenue from
Okay,
artists,
10,000,
revenue
yeah,
from
10,000
public
14, right, 15,
subscriptions.
15 to 50, right, correct,
Correct.
15 to
Yeah.
50, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so what they are saying is burn rate is nothing but your, if your monthly expenses are higher, which in this case, yes, will be substantially higher. Okay, because your monthly rate is 13872 plus 9000 is 22872. So if you want to just change it there, or you can just change in the formula. I had changed this in the formula that I was about to show you.
Okay.
Okay. So your monthly variable cost is not K11. It is whatever that K11 into. I mean, these people I think have just copied the thing on our PPT. So your monthly operating expense is 22872, whereas your revenues is only 15280. So minus 15280. That means you are every month you are burning cash worth 7,592. P9 minus P8, which is right, which is that means you are burning that amount of money. Your revenues are lesser than your uh, expenses. Okay, so if you are burning that type of money and you have what your cash reserve, the money you have at your disposal is 20,000. So what 20,000 divided by 7,592 divided by 7,592 is about 2.6 months. That means you have money that will get over in 2.6 months.
So that calculation is wrong there, right? First of all, it is not 20,000. The money that you have at your disposal is actually 1,080.
No,
No, that's your startup
cost.
cost. So, okay, yeah, that's your startup cost. So 13,872 plus. So where have they your cash reserve? That's just
They have
the investment that they have kind of
that
estimated
is
there.
either an assumption that they have made
Yeah,
or
yeah,
is not there a part of the sheet.
yeah. So it's essentially that's either they're pulling in that money or that's their first investment that they do have.
No, that is they must have had money worth whatever 21,080 of which 1080 they would have, used for starting up.
Startup, fixed
And
cost is 13,872.
huh,
And variable cost actually will be 90 into each of those units, right? The total units that they sell during the month,
yes.
which is 100 plus 25 plus 10. So that's their unit. So
Oh,
135.
sorry. Yeah, I was just.
Yeah, 100 plus 25 plus 10. 135 units they are selling. So 135 into 90.
90 into 135. Yeah. So now the calculation will still change further.
Correct. Yeah. So do you have this template with you?
I have.
So yeah, can you just show me your template?
No, I was just changing it.
Because this is a different template. I assume that there is an Excel for this as well, right?
Yeah, this is the one, no?
No. The burn rate and other things are not in this one.
Yeah, it is there. No, right hand side.
Ah, okay. It's there on the right hand side. Yeah, okay.
This is an Excel sheet.
Yeah.